Hmm. Hello everyone, myself Prashant Ramchandra Suremshi, and I am going to teach you basic structure and function of the heart. So, uh, when this is the left side and this one is the right side, because you are viewing to another person, you are looking for another person. So this is left and this is right side. So first we will learn about location of the heart. So heart is located in the mediastinum region in the midline, but about 2/3 portion of the uh, heart is located in the left side. So heart is a hollow muscular organ located in the thoracic cavity, and it is protected by ribs and vertebra. Next we will learn about chambers of the heart. So heart contains 4 chambers, 2 upper chambers atria, these are called upper chambers are called atria, and 2 lower chambers called as ventricles. So upper chambers are atria and lower chambers are ventricles. There are 4 chambers in the heart, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. So this is the left atrium, this is the left ventricle, this is right atrium, this is right ventricle. Between the left atrium and left ventricle we have left atrioventricular wall. We have atrioventricular wall because it is between the atria and ventricle, so it is called atrioventricular wall. So it is on the left side, so it is left atrioventricular wall. This is this one. So it is also called as bicuspid wall. This is also called as bicuspid wall. Its proper name is mitral wall. Bicuspid because it has 2 cusps. It has 2 cusps. So it is like this, 2 cusps moving, pointing downwards, and it opens like this. And here we have aorta. It is a large vessel, and here is a left ventricle. So between left ventricle and aorta we have aortic wall, aortic, also called as aortic semilunar wall. Aortic semilunar wall. Semi means half and lunar means moon, so it is half moon shaped, so it is called as semilunar wall. It is pointing upwards towards the aorta, and on the right side we have this tricuspid wall. Between the right atrium and right ventricle we have this tricuspid wall. This is also pointing downwards. It has 3 cusps. It has 3 cusps, this one, and third one is underneath it. So between the right atrium and right ventricle we have tricuspid wall, or also called as right atrioventricular wall. Then we have this pulmonary artery, large vessel. This large vessel, between this large vessel, pulmonary artery, which carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. So between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery we have pulmonary wall. This one is the pulmonary wall pointing upwards. Pulmonary wall, that one pointing upwards between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery. So this is about heart walls. Next we will learn about flow of blood through the heart. So how blood flows through the heart? So in the lungs pulmonary capillaries pick up oxygen and unload carbon dioxide. So from the lungs saturated 98% or 100% saturated with blood is saturated with oxygen. So oxygenated blood is carry into the left atrium by 4 pulmonary veins. Here I have drawn only 2 pulmonary veins, but actually it is 4. So from lungs, blood is carried to the left atrium by 4 pulmonary veins, and it is loaded into left atrium. From left atrium, blood is loaded into the left ventricle through the bicuspid, or also called as mitral valve. Through the left atrium, blood loaded into left atrium through this bicuspid valve. From left ventricle, blood goes into the aorta. When left ventricle contracts, it ejects or pumped out blood into the aorta through the aortic semilunar valve. And aorta is a large vessel which divides into many large arteries, and these large arteries again divide into medium sized arteries, and then into arterioles and systemic capillaries. So systemic capillaries, and where systemic capillaries connect with the body tissues, and their oxygen gaseous diffusion takes place. Oxygen taken up by the tissues and carbon dioxide unloads into the blood. So that deoxygenated blood is drained from superior and inferior vena cava. The relatively deoxygenated blood from the tissues is taken up by the veins. Then they form inferior and superior vena cava. So vena cava are the largest vein in the body. So this is the superior vena cava. It drains blood from upper half part of the body, like brain, thoracic cavity, and inferior vena cava drains blood from lower part of the body, like limbs, abdominal cavity, etc. So this superior and inferior vena cava drains blood into the right atrium. They drains blood into the right atrium. From right atrium, blood goes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. Through the tricuspid valve, blood goes from right atrium to right ventricle. From right ventricle, blood is pumped out or ejected from the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery. And pulmonary artery quickly divides into 2 lobes, right and left, which carry blood to the right and left side of the lungs for oxygenation. So this deoxygenated blood from pulmonary artery carries to the lungs for oxygenation through the pulmonary arteries, left and right pulmonary arteries. Next point is valves, about heart valves. So heart valves are fibrous skeletons. They ensure that the blood flows unidirectional. They prevent backflow of blood. So to prevent overflapping of the valves, they are attached with tendons. These are the tendinous cords, also called as chordae tendineae, and this chordae tendineae are attached to the wall of the heart by papillary muscles. These are the papillary muscles that attach tendons, or also called a tendini, to the wall of the heart. So what is the function of these chordae tendineae and papillary muscles? They prevent over flapping of the walls in the upward direction. So these are attached to the heart walls to prevent flapping of the walls in the upper side, to ensure unidirectional flow of blood, one-way flow of blood. These are the papillary muscles, and this is the tendonic cords. So next point is layers of the heart. We will learn about basic layers of the heart surrounding the heart. So on the outer side we have fibrous skeleton made up of tough fibrous connective tissue all around the heart. We have this tough fibrous connective tissue. Its tough fibrous connective tissue protects the heart from overexpansion. So heart can expand at particular, but it cannot overexpands. So this is the outer fibrous skeleton called as pericardium. Outer fibrous connective tissue that protects the heart. Next we have in the inner side of the heart smooth lining of endothelial cells. It is a very smooth lining. It is called as endocardium. It is a smooth lining from inner side of the heart called as endocardium. And then we have thick muscular wall called as myocardium. We have in the middle thick muscular contractile fibers of myocardium. This is the right atrium. So this is the myocardium. It has bands of cardiac muscles, striated cardiac muscles. These are the contractile muscles of the heart, helps in the contraction of the heart. So left ventricle has relatively thick myocardium and right ventricle has relatively thin layers of myocardium, because left ventricle has to pump the blood to all the body, throughout the body, to your limbs. So it has high tension, so it has very thick myocardium as compared to right ventricle. And right ventricle has to pump blood to the lungs, so it is not far from it. So right ventricle has relatively thin myocardium as compared to left ventricle. And next is left ventricle also called as body pump, because from left ventricle blood is ejected throughout the body, so it is called as body pump. And right ventricle is the pulmonary lung pump, so it ejects, carry blood to the lungs. So right part is left lung pump and left part of the heart is body pump, and in the middle we have this septum which divides left part of the heart and right part of the heart. Left and right part of the heart is divided by this septum called as cardiac septum. So in the anatomy, septum means any part which divides two structures. So left and right part of the heart divided by cardiac septum. So this middle portion is cardiac septum. So this is basic structure and function of the heart. Thank you.